Hey guys, assalamu alaikum, it's Jenny G. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my kitchen. So Eid is right around the corner. I would have done a couple of videos for you guys this past week on Indian sweets. So hopefully you guys will try them out for Eid this year. So today's video we've got one more Indian sweet to show you guys, and that is kurma. So I think kurma is one of the must-haves for Eid. I think usually there'll be like the gulab jamun, the barfi, the kurma, and of course the other sweets. But I think kurma tends to be one of the must-have at all homes or most homes. Correct me if I'm wrong, but at least that's what I think. I remember going to my grandmother's place actually, years ago when I was younger, and recently too, to make kurma, the gulab jamun and the barfi around Eid time every year. It was something that you look forward to doing. And I actually have a video up from last year when I went across to my mummy's house and my grandmother was there, and we made kurma, we made the barfi and all of that. I managed to get a video in, but it was more like a vlog, a style kind of video. I tried to get the measurements in, but they tend to use the average and all of that. So I was trying to ask as many questions and try to still put out the recipe, so it's up on my website. But it was a large amount of kurma. So I decided to do over a video and do a smaller amount of kurma, something more applicable and more relatable to you guys. So let's jump into this kurma video.
For this recipe, we need some all-purpose flour, some margarine. You can also use cooking or mixture, condensed milk, evaporated milk, and your spices. I'm using some ground elaichi, ginger powder, and some ground cinnamon. You can use as much as you like. You can also include nutmeg. For the evaporated milk and the condensed milk, ideally it should be cool for this recipe. For the sugar mixture, or what we call the pag, you're going to need some granulated sugar and also some water to boil that sugar in.
So from the ingredients you would have just seen, this kurma is actually very similar to gulab jamun. Actually what we call gulab jamun is fat kurma. So the gulab jamun is basically a bigger version of the kurma, and it tends to be a little more soft on the inside than the kurma. Now let me just say before we continue, there are different types, different ways that you could go about making your kurma. So there's a stick kurma. I should have specified that in the beginning. There's a stick kurma, and then there's the little smaller chunky pieces. To be honest with you, I am not a fan of the stick kurma. They tend to be very, very crunchy, and I prefer mine more on the softer side. So this video is more the chunky style of the kurma and not the stick kurma. So you're going to basically start off by combining the spices with the flour in a bowl. You want to mix it all through properly to make sure the spices are nicely incorporated in the flour, throughout the flour. Then you're going to be adding your margarine chunks to that. You're going to use your hands, use your fingers, break it up into smaller pieces and get it all mixed in nicely throughout that flour mixture. So once you've got that done, you're going to add in your condensed milk. You're going to mix it in nicely as well, and then in goes the evaporated milk. Now the evaporated milk ideally should be cold. This is just to give your kurma a little more flakiness to it. So ideally it should be cool when you're using it in the recipe. So you're going to mix it all in there, knead it until it's a nice soft dough, and you're just going to set it aside for about 5-10 minutes covered.
Something very important to note in this step, guys, the dough ideally in this type of kurma I'm making, because I like it more on the soft side, the dough is going to be soft and moist. Now if you want the crispy or the crunchy kurma, you're going to have to cut back on the amount of evaporated milk that you're using in the recipe. But you can check out my website for a little more information on that part of it.
After 5 to 10 minutes, you're going to take it out, remove it from the bowl, place it on a lightly dusted countertop, and you're basically going to roll it out using a rolling pin, or what we call a bilna. Now for this part, this is where you determine whether you want the stick kurma or the fat, chunkier kurma. So I'm going to be rolling mine out into not very thin. I'm just going to leave it a little thick. And next what I'm going to be doing is using a pizza cutter or a knife, cut it into strips. So once I've done that, I am going to be rolling each strip until it gets that nice rounded look to it. Then I'm going to be using a knife or the pizza cutter and cut it into pieces. Now you can determine the size of the pieces if you want them on small size, medium size, whatever size you want, cut them accordingly. So just in case you're curious to see the stick kurma, you're going to roll out your dough really thin and you're just going to slice it into your thin stick-like pieces. So you can see the comparison here with the stick and the chunkier kurma. Chunkier kurma is my preference. So once you have all your pieces cut and you're ready to fry them, what I used to see my grandmother doing is putting it onto an enamel plate, and then she would throw it into put it into the pot of the oil. But I don't have an enamel plate, but it's all good. And that's just basically it easier, because when you have to put one by one, it can be time consuming. So she would put all into a plate and just put it into the oil in the pot. But what I'm going to be doing is using my spoon and putting some on it and transferring it across into the oil. Now something to note, guys, just be mindful, just be careful. Like the fat kurma and the gulab jamun, you want to make sure that your pieces are smooth, because if there are little cracks, it will open out when you put it into the oil. When it's frying, it will open out. So once we've got them added to the pot of oil, you want to make sure that you manage your heat. You want to leave it for enough time, keep it on a medium heat, but still be sure to manage it depending on the size of the pot, depending on how much oil is in the pot, depending on the size of the burner, the type of pot that you're using. You basically want to manage the heat properly, because you don't want to have uncooked insides of your kurma. So you basically want to fry them until they're a nice golden brown color, and once they're all nicely fried, you're just going to remove them, put them in a bowl and let them set. Well, just put them in a bowl until we finish with the next step. The next step of kurma making will be the pag, or making the sugar syrup. So this part can be a little tricky. You're going to be adding your sugar with some water to a pot on the stove, and you're going to bring that to a boil. You want to form a thick syrup, and basically when it starts to thread, just about when it starts to thread, which basically is that point when you put your spoon into the sugar mixture and you lift it off and you see a thread looking line from the spoon to the sugar mixture. So once you've got that done, you're going to transfer it across to a bowl with your kurma. So if you recall in the gulab jamun video, the fat kurma video, for this step I actually laid out the fat kurma onto a tray, which made it easier, just because those gulab jamun or the fat kurma tend to be so much more fragile than the kurma. But the good thing with the kurma, you can use the bowl and mix it up and you won't have to worry about anything breaking apart, unless you actually have some uncooked kurma in there. Then you're going to start to feel it breaking apart, because it's still going to be soft inside.
So in this step, all you're going to be doing is just keep turning it up until that sugar crystallizes and you got that nice white sugar crystals on the outside of your kurma. So this is what the finished product is going to look like. We've got the nicely colored kurma with that nice sugar mixture on the outside.
So of course, some things to note when you're making the kurma. Starting with the spices, be sure to adjust it according to your preferences. Always remember, like I keep saying, use my recipes as a guide. My taste buds and your taste buds may be very different. Classic example, husband and myself, we live in the same house, but we have totally different taste buds. So he's more on the sweet tooth side, I am more on the savory pepper mouth side. So use the recipe as a guide, and once you have the basic or the core ingredients, the liquid to the wet to dry ratio of ingredients, the spices and all those add-ons, you guys can adjust according to your preference and your family's taste buds. I will stress again on the importance of that oil and making sure that it's at the right temperature so that your kurma cooks through properly. You don't want to go through all that work and then have uncooked kurma, so be mindful of that as you go along. And of course, that pak or that sugar mixture can be a little tricky. Just keep practicing with it and you will get it. Once you keep doing it, you know, it will come to you naturally. So it still happens to me. We've got some bad cases of sugar syrup or pak mixture and you have to throw it out. It's all good and well. We are not professionals. It's just about having fun, experimenting, and doing it until you've got it perfected. So I hope you guys enjoyed this kurma videos. All the other links to these other sweets that I would have done this past week will be posted down below as well, so you guys can check them out, of course, and make them for Eid this year. Send me pictures. As always, I absolutely love getting the pictures from you guys when you do try out the recipes. It always makes me feel very, very excited and gets me very happy. So as always guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed these past couple of videos with the Indian sweets. Try them out like I said, and thanks as always for watching. I will see you guys in my next video.